Have you ever said no to someone and suddenly become the bad guy? That's exactly what happened to me when I wouldn't let two shady strangers brought by my HOA president, of all people, into my home. I figured I was just being smart, protecting myself. She saw it as defiance, and next thing I know, she's calling the cops. But here's the twist: the police weren't coming for me. This mess got way uglier than I could have dreamed, turning my quiet suburb into a battlefield of secrets, lies, and betrayal. Moving to Willow Creek Estates was meant to be my clean slate. I'm Ethan Reed, and I craft custom metal plaques for a living, those engraved nameplates you spot at offices, parks, or memorials. It all started with my grandpa showing me how to etch my first initial into a scrap of steel. He didn't talk much, but when I nailed it, he'd pat the metal and mutter, "Now it's got soul." That stuck with me. It's not just work, it's heritage. Still, as I signed those closing papers back in early 2023, a nagging voice warned me about the fine print. I brushed it off, but damn, it came back to haunt me. After scraping by in rentals for years, I finally scraped together enough for a modest place in what seemed like a peaceful spot. The agent mumbled about an HOA, but I zoned out, figured it'd be simple stuff like mowing your lawn or no wild paint jobs. The contract was a brick, thicker than any lease I'd seen, but I didn't dig deep. Big regret. The movers were still unloading when she showed up. Victoria Langford, HOA president, striding up like she ruled the world. Mid-40s, sharp suit that screamed ex-lawyer, clutching a binder worth more than my tools. Her smile? Pure campaign trail, broad, polished, and ice-cold. "Welcome to Willow Creek," she boomed, shaking my hand with crushing force. I offered her tea inside. Worst call ever. She unloaded a rule avalanche on my table. Color swatches for siding, blueprints for yard care, even bulb limits for outdoor lights. Who regulates that like it's a state secret? "I see your truck," she noted, flipping pages like evidence in court. "Fine for now, but no commercial rigs on streets past curfew." She eyed my workshop, tools out, a half-done plaque leaning there. Her gaze sharpened. "Metal etching? Charming. But business displays need committee okay." She leaned in, scrutinizing like a judge. "This engraving's auspice edges don't match our font rules." I bit back words. I'd poured sweat into that piece, and she trashed it like junk. This wasn't standards, it was dominance. Victoria wasn't president. She was empress, marking her territory. Post-visit, I pored over her 47-page manifesto. Dictates on fence hues, approved shrubs, even trash bin angles. It felt like a scripted dystopia, not a home. That night, strolling the block, every yard mirrored Hedges' uniform, lights identical. Not harmony, but forced sameness. Then came her first strike. A letter under my door at dawn, citing my shop lights as too bright, $50 daily fine looming. Next day, loading supplies, Mrs. Ellis from next door sidled up, 70-ish with wary eyes. "Met Victoria," she whispered, scanning for spies. "She dinged us for flying our flag an extra day last 4th of July. Tread lightly, she crushes rebels." By morning, a note on my mailbox griped about unapproved finish. And signed, but obvious. Standing there, fuming, I vowed not to cower. Victoria thought she owned us, but I wouldn't fold. Little did I know her next play would up the ante. 72 hours on the dot, another threat. Lean for that lamp. Ruthless. But I had a secret edge from my old gig etching for courthouses and city halls. I'd mastered regs like code breaking. If she wanted rules war, I'd deliver. I hit the community office for the full charter, 83 pages. The clerk printed warily. Poured till midnight, struck gold. Section 15C allowed business vehicles extended parking if actively engaged. Licensed? Check. Insured? Check. Municipal code backed it. Next dawn, I tricked out my truck with business magnets, loaded tools galore, and parked it smack in front of her place overnight. Blinds twitched, the street hushed. It was rebellion on wheels. Her notice flew in, but I marched to her door, folder ready. "Full compliance," I said, shoving docs her way. Her poised cracked jaw clenched, voice wobbling. "Irregular," she spat, but she knew I'd won legally. "Rules fairly applied, right?" I jabbed. She stewed, but backed off. That evening, I barbecued triumphantly, truck taunting her. "Mrs. Ellis thumbs upped." Neighbors inquired about my work. Half the block had awaited a stand against her tyranny. But victory tasted bittersweet. Bullies like her don't quit. Retaliation crept in petty. Noise gripe for sanding at 7:30 a.m. Trash bin tardiness. Building a dossier. I tested with a low-key grill out, inviting buddy Mike Harlan, a site boss with sharp instincts. This Victoria's trouble, he grunted, flipping steaks, eyes on shadows. The block felt eerie, too silent for Saturday. Kids absent, mowers quiet. Paranoia? Maybe, but earned. Community cam down, out of order, sign fresh scratched. Mike nodded, tampered. Then Victoria appeared at my gate, not alone. Two rough types. Derek, lanky with ink sleeves. Lucas, stocky, eyes dead. They screamed trouble in this prim hood. Meet my pals, she chirped, fake sweet. Newbies eyeing the area, show him around. Instinct screamed no. I barred the gate. We're set. Her mask slipped, panic flashed. Mike whispered, short one slipping cash. Sure enough, envelope passed slyly. Reconsider, she pressed, voice edging desperate. Community spirit. But why the urgency? Mike tensed, my pulse raced. No dice, I boomed. Her face purpled. Calling cops, you'll rue this. As they slunk off, Lucas muttered, backup plan. Mike nailed it. She scared off them. Sirens wailed 20 minutes later. Two cruisers, neighbors peeked covertly. Victoria, now power-suited, met them dramatically. Officer Ramirez knocked. Disturbance call. We spilled. Weird guests. Cash. Unease. Mike's vid showed it all. Private property rights, Ramirez confirmed. Victoria blustered about disrespect, but vid sealed it. Dispatch crackled. Burglary suspects matching Derek and Lucas nearby. Chaos erupted. Backup swarmed. Duo cuffed blocks away. Wanted for string of hits, Ramirez explained. Casing homes via invites. Pieces click. Victoria's push, panic, payoff. She was in on it, scouting for cash cuts. Damage control? A faux apology note, then assault. Complaints fingering me as ringleader. Forged docs dates off, SIGs mismatched. Mrs. Ellis confessed seeing her stamp fakes in a wine-fueled frenzy. Victoria rallied neighbors, screeching conspiracies, but cracks showed. Detective Hayes visited. Her tales Swiss cheese elaborate lies. Warned, she's unraveling, lock up. Climax hit at emergency HOA meet, her last gasp. Room packed. Her board screamed accusations, photos, charts pinning me as crook. But Reginald Voss, retired fraud hunter, rose. Inconsistencies galore. Folder out, he dismantled. Fake dates, ghost witnesses. Wrote these bylaws myself. Misconduct clause triggers vote. Testimonies poured. Sightings with crooks, forced entries. Vote crushed her 31-1 removal. She stormed out, vowing regret. Aftermath flew. House sold. Charges stuck. Conspiracy, obstruction, 18 months inside. Duo got 5 years each, spilling her $500 per hit deal. New lead Reginald eased rules. Gardens bloomed. Kids played free. My biz boomed. Hero status drew clients. Carved a warm entry sign. Willow Creek. Neighbors united. But was her tyranny justified for order? Or pure corruption? What if I'd let them in, victim or fool? Ever faced a power-drunk neighbor weaponizing rules? Should HOAs have such control, or are they breeding grounds for bullies? Drop your wildest HOA horror in comments. Did you fight back or flee? Like if this fired you up. Subscribe for more real-life showdowns that make you question everything. Who's the real villain in your hood? Spill it.